She finally tells the truth about Paul Newman when she was 95 years old. This person was born in Thomasville, Georgia, on February 27, 1930. What her real name is Joanne Gignot Trimire Woodward. From a young age, Woodward has been interested in stories and theater. She became interested in acting after watching movies as a child. After that, she got better by performing in plays in her neighborhood and at school. Creations of art. She went to Louisiana State University to learn drama and get better at what she does. Her goal was to get a job that would make her one of the best actors of her age. After graduating from college, Joanne Woodward went to New York City to try to make a living as an actress. During the boom years after World War II in the 1950s, she started working in theater and TV. At the neighborhood playhouse, she studied acting with Sanford Meisner and developed a sophisticated style based on being emotionally honest and real. Early TV parts showed off her natural charm and range, which set the stage for a move to movies that would solidify her place as one of Hollywood's best. Woodward got her big break in 1957 when she played a woman in the movie The Three Faces of Eve who had more than one personality. She won the Academy Award for Best Actress for playing the complicated character in a way that was both scary and caring. It was this part that made her famous, and she was one of the first famous actresses in modern movies to play a psychiatric character. Both crowds and critics were amazed by her ability to play a wide range of characters with depth and realism. She changed the way women in Hollywood were supposed to act. Woodward had a lot of success as a producer and director in addition to her work in movies. She loved making projects that were important and showed how people lived, and she was very good at finding interesting stories. At that time, most of the voices in that business were male, so it was unusual for her to make so many movies and TV shows about women. Over time, she also got very active in the cultural life of Connecticut, where she and Newman lived. As artistic head of the Westport Country Playhouse, she helped young actors and writers and brought the old theater back to life. Joanne Woodward worked in show business for more than 50 years. She was praised for her roles in movies like Mr. and Mrs., Summer Wishes, Winter Dreams, the effect of gamma rays on Man-in-the-Moon marigolds, and The Drowning Pool. Bridge. During her career, she won many awards, including several Emmys and Golden Globes, which solidified her position as one of the best artists in America. Not only was her work good, it was also honest. Woodward consistently chose parts that talked about people's complicated feelings instead of just their fame or looks. Along with her artistic skills, Joanne Woodward was praised for her calm charity and kindness. In partnership with Newman, she started a number of charity groups, including the Hole in the Wall Gang Camp, which gave sick kids fun things to do. Today, artists and activists are still moved by the pair's kindness and giving. The effect of Joanne Woodward was even stronger after she quietly faded from public view. She became a symbol of honor, tenacity, and being true to yourself because she never gave up her ideals to become famous. As a senior, she cared greatly about her neighborhood, her family, and the arts. She loved the arts. People will always remember her body of work as a time when movies were smart, talented, and emotional, even though she isn't as active in public these days. Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward met for the first time at their agent's office, which seemed like a normal place to meet, but would become very important in both of their lives. At the time, neither of them was a well-known performer. They didn't know much about their lives because they were both just starting out in the movie and stage business. They worked together a lot because both of them were chosen to be backup actors in the famous William Inge play Picnic, which opened on Broadway in 1953. Even though they weren't well known at the time, these first meetings set the stage for a friendship that would last a lifetime. They became close because they both wanted the same things and admired each other's hard work and skill. Young performers often have a hard time at this age because they have to practice for long amounts of time, don't get much attention, and are always trying to show what they can do. But it also made it easier for a tie that was already there because of shared hobbies to grow. Dreams and the knowledge that their paths may someday cross in a more important way. Woodward and Newman's jobs became more connected when they worked together on the long, hot summer in 1957. Both actors went through changes after making the movie. Woodward, who was going to get great ratings, and Newman, who was already known for having a strong personality on screen. For a job that needed both a close relationship and great acting skills, they worked together. Working together on this movie showed how close they had become over time in their relationship. Together, they had to deal with the stresses of becoming bigger stars in Hollywood, the intense scrutiny of the public, and the emotional toll of playing complicated, passionate characters. At this point, Newman's ex-wife Jackie Witt, with whom he had 3 children, filed for divorce. Because of this, he was able to start a deeper relationship with Woodward. The wedding took place in Las Vegas on January 29, 1958. Las Vegas is known for having quick weddings. In Hollywood history, their wedding will be seen as the start of one of the longest-lasting relationships in the business. After a few months, on March 28, 1958, Woodward's career hit its peak when she won the Academy Award for Best Actress for her role as a complex woman in The 3 Faces of Eve. The prize came just at the right time. It was both a professional victory and a turning point in a marriage that would soon become famous for how long it lasted and how much the 2 people loved each other. In a field where relationships end quickly, they were married for an amazing 50 years. It was lung cancer that killed Newman on September 26, 2008. In his lifetime, he made a lot of work that was both deeply personal and great for movies. Woodward has said about his life with him, "He's very good-looking and very sexy and all of those things, but all that goes out the window. It doesn't matter if you can make someone laugh or not. He also makes me laugh a lot." Her words show how strongly they felt about each other and how fun, friendship, and happiness kept them together through decades of fame, personal problems, and the normal problems that come up in a long-term marriage. Newman was also honest about his relationship with her, saying that it worked because of some combination of lust and respect, patience and determination. This short but powerful quote shows how strong and stable their relationship is. In conversations, Newman often talked about loyalty with the same charm and wit that made him famous. A magazine called Playboy asked him how he stayed loyal to Woodward during their 20-year marriage. He said, "I have steak at home. Why would you go to a restaurant to eat hamburgers?" His comment shows both his dedication and a lighthearted recognition of how much they still like and care about each other. It shows that in a very close connection, choosing to be loyal is based on want, respect, and satisfaction. Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward built a family and a way of life together. The person known as Melissa Stewart Clea was born in 1961. The person known as Eleanor Teresa Nell was born in 1965. The person known as Nell was born in 1959. Woodward gave her all to both a demanding acting career and her job as a good mother. As a child, every girl saw how committed her parents were to each other. They learned from a couple that had problems but still showed love, respect, and cooperation. In this way, the relationship between Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward is not just a Hollywood love story. It shows long-lasting love, teamwork, and the magic that happens when 2 people keep an artistic and emotional link for life. She first told the truth about her famous husband Paul Newman when she was 95 years old. Woodward was a beautiful actress whose work spanned decades, and her personal life was almost as interesting to watch as her roles. Even though Newman was known for her grace, poise, and great ability, the private parts of Woodward's relationship with her had always been kept a secret. The mystery of one of the most famous couples in Hollywood. While she was reflecting and being honest, she talked openly about their marriage, their close relationship, and the real her that was hidden behind her flashy public image. Her words, "We loved each other more than anything else in the world," showed the same warmth and honesty that made her stand out on and off screen. For a long time, everyone was crazy about Woodward and Newman's love story. In Hollywood, where relationships end quickly, their marriage, which lasted more than 50 years until Newman's death in 2008, was often used as an example of love that lasts. Even though there was a lot of talk and interest about them, Joanne Woodward would not talk about the personal details of their relationship. Even though they had been together for a long time and were well known, she talked about her relationship now that she was in her mid-90s. Her words were, "It wasn't always easy. There were times when things got tense, when we didn't agree, and when life put us to the test. But our marriage stayed together thanks to faith, respect for each other, and an unbreakable love." Not only do Woodward's thoughts show how unique their relationship was, but they also show how strong and kind she was in it. She was a great actress in her own right, and people liked how smart and varied her work was. She won an Academy Award for her role in The Three Faces of Eve, and movies like Rachel, and The Stripper kept people interested. Woodward often talked about how her friendship with Newman made her brave and strong, even though she had already done a lot on her own. It was said, "Paul was my partner in every way. He pushed me to be the best person I could be and supported me along the way. We were both equal, but in hard-to-explain ways, we made each other better." They fell in love for more than just the fact that they liked each other or had similar hobbies. It was about a strong emotional bond that went beyond the showy parts of being famous. Joe and Woodward remembered the little things, the calm habits, and the understanding that had helped them stay together. Little things were important. It was most, she said, a look across a crowded room, a pat on the shoulder, and a laugh together in the middle of the chaos. That's what love is all about. Someone who really knows you is there for you all the time, without making big moves or showing off in public. In his piece, Woodward also talked about how hard it is to keep a friendship going when everyone is watching. No one cared about the important parts of her and Newman's lives, even though they were famous. A lot of people thought they knew us, but no one really knew how complicated our life together was, she said. There were rumors, guesses, and news stories about us, but we never let that stop us. In its own way, our love was holy and hidden. Woodward's voice sounds like it's mirroring when she talks. She's 95 years old. It has a bit of sadness, respect, and nostalgia in it. She said Paul stood out for more than one reason. He always knew what was right and wrong, and that helped him get through life. He was also nice and generous. His sense of fun could make any room feel better. For someone to love someone so much and for so long is a gift, even if that person is no longer with us. Every day have fun. In honoring the spirit of Paul Newman, Joanne Woodward finally says what she thinks. She also teaches the world an important lesson about love, strength, and being yourself. She says that a friendship based on respect, loyalty, and real friendship can last despite fame, pressure, and the passing of time. This can create a memory that goes beyond movies, awards, and the short-lived nature of fame. "We had a rough time together," she said, "but he insisted that it was real and ours. Besides that, I'll always tell you the truth.